We're just continuing with the halachot in Siman Resh Samech. It's actually brought down in Sivet that when it's going to become close to Chashecha, which means when it's closer already to the Shabbat, to the onset of Shabbat, you're going to ask your family members, you're going to come in B'lashon Raka, Isartem ifrashtem chalav yomer lahem aliko taner. Which means a lot of people, they actually misunderstand the Mishnah that we read every single Friday night in Mameh Malikin. What do? You always say, Shlosha dvarim tzarich adam lomer betoch beito Shabbat im chashecha, isarten iravtem aliko taner. So you ask the majority of the people, what is the explanation? They're going to tell you, listen, you tell your wife right now, you're going to tell your family members, did you right now take off the maaser? Did you separate challah? And then you're going to ask them, haliko taner, right? What does that mean, haliko taner? As if to say, did you light the candles? It's not true. It doesn't say hidlaktem et taner. It's haliko taner, which means the other ones are past tense. The first two is isartem, is the question. It's not telling you now, go take off maaser. It's isartem, right? With a question mark. Eravtem, did you take off, did you make the eruv? Right? All these things, basically what you're asking is something in the past tense. Haliko taner is a command. Haliko taner, come and do halakat nerot right now. Now Rabbi Akiva Eiger already on the Mishnayot is medayek. This is actually brought down, whether it's in the Mishnah Berurah and many others as well, that the fact that it says haliko taner, right, and it doesn't mention about anything to do with the actual preparation of the candles, this is the hint where we have that the men are the ones where we prepare the candles, and the women are the ones which they light the candles, which means it's incumbent upon the man to come and to start preparing all the preparation, whether it's the oil, the wicks, and all those things that is done by a man. There's even tefillot to say. There's a tefillah of Rav Chaim Falache and others as well to say when you're preparing the candles for Shabbat. This is to do with the men which are preparing it. But then the women are the ones which are actually lighting it. Now when Maran says B'lashon Raka, why is it B'lashon Raka? Because the Gemara Masechet Shabbat already says that you have to, even though the Chazal just said these are the three things that you have to say, you have to do it B'lashon Raka. If you remember, we actually brought down, and with this we'll finish, the Ben Yehuda. The Ben Yehuda, the Ben Ishchai actually explains on the Gemara that when it says that you have to say benachat, you have to say benachat. Nachat is actually these three things. Why is it going to be these three things? The ner, the challah, which is going to be the frashat challah, and the tchumin, which is basically going to be the three different things. Whether it's going to be the preparing of the eravtem, nowadays obviously the eruv is a little bit different, and that's why Maran just wrote down isartem ifrashtem challah. He didn't bring down about the eruv tchumin anymore, the eruv chatzerot, or any of the eruvim anymore, right? But he did bring down the entire concept of the trumot u'masrot, right? Did you take it off? And then he comes and he says, Hifrashtem challah, and then he says aliko taner, which is actually something very, very interesting, because that's the Rashi Tevot of benachat, which means that you have to do it gently, that you're going to tell your family members to come and to do it. Why? Because if you just say it gently, they will accept it. If you're going to be very, very harsh, many times it will lead to chilul Shabbat, just because they're afraid of you, but really be'emet, they're not actually doing it. It's just because they're afraid, so they're going to come and they're going to do it in such a fashion.